Is going on, gaming nerds? Welcome back to Midnight Gaming with Mystic Nightmare. Thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. I'm having a pretty decent day. It is midnight yet again. We are back on Rushing Fishing 4, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is Belaya River. Now, I've got, over the last couple of days, I got about 30 of you guys messaging me saying, hey, what's going on with Belaya River? Is it dead? Is there any lure? Okay, not really 30. It's more like 30 minus, 28. So maybe a couple of you have been messaging me. I promised a couple of you that I'd do a video on this, so here it is, all right? You guys have been asking me, is it dead here? Are there any lures that are working? Is there any hot spots or anything? For the last 2 or 3 days, I've actually been fishing here. I've been fishing with one other guy. I'm going to tell you his name right now. His name is Don. But we're going to spice up his name a little bit. We're going to call him D-On. So Don, aka D-On, has actually been helping out considerably. So Don, aka D-On, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. He's the one that found the hot spot. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the hot spot. There's only one that as far as I can see. I fished all of this. Before the update down here, it was super hot down here at the very end here. It still is very hot down here if you like perch and if you like chubs. That's it. That's really all you're going to catch down here, plain and simple. Okay, but what Don has found for us is if you come down here to these bushes down here and you tuck behind these bushes, you come walking up towards this rock right here. You go to 6730. Be careful of this rock. You kind of don't want to get close to it. Kind of go to the little bit of the right of it. And there's 3 spots that you can fish. There's towards this rock right here, towards this rock right here, and towards this one right here. With this one, it's probably a little bit better if you go a little bit faster speed, okay? Now, as you guys know, when it comes to Belaya River, I love sitting down at a low, slow 16. It's just one of my favorites. Does this work as of right now? Yes, it absolutely does. However, from what we've figured out, you're going to want to do a lot of stop and goes. The straight retrievals aren't really working as well anymore. They do kind of still work, but a lot of stop and goes are working. For me, with this speed at 16, I do a 2 rotation, let that spinner get up in the air, and then let it drop for a good 3 to 4 seconds. Another 2 seconds, or another 2 spins, let it sit. And that's kind of what I was catching on when it came down to my speeds, which is like retrieval speed size 14, or retrieval speed at 14 and 15, or I'm sorry, 14 and 16. Okay, so that does work there. You can do a straight retrieval. They like it a little bit better with the straight retrieval on there as well at that speed. But the most thing that you want to watch out for is this rock will actually kind of get in your way. You don't really get snagged on it, but you can get fish caught behind it and stuff like that. Okay, so that one I found actually does work for me. As you can see, we just came off of a nighttime. It is early morning, so the fish should start actually biting. When it comes to Don, aka Dion, my brother from another mother, he was doing a speed of 23. And what he was doing is he was casting out, he was doing 5 rotations, and then he was letting it sit for anywhere from 2 to 4 seconds. I let it sit for about 4 seconds. He let it sit for like 2 seconds, he said. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just let it sit. This has been actually working great. Normally, like I said before, I'm not big on fast retrieval speeds on Belaya, but this has actually been working okay. All right? And you guys got to remember, don't forget the most crucial thing to do on this river, and that is when you cast out, hit the water, do not immediately start reeling in, because like 25 to 50% of the time you're going to get a bite as soon as it hits the water, because that is actually something in the game, because your lure is going to be dropping, and that's what the fish have been hitting on is during the drop. Okay, so fish that are coming out of here, you are going to get a lot of graylings at this spot. A lot of graylings. Okay, there are some browns that come out of here every now and then and whatnot, but for the most part, you're going to be getting a lot of graylings. The browns will come. You just got to be patient. It's that simple. Okay. Where is my freaking lure? There it is right there. They will come. You just got to be patient. But I'm going to warn you, the fish that are actually becoming more active as of right now is actually quite a surprise. The taimen have become active. So you guys need to understand, you could hook into a taimen. Taimen are sporadic fighters. They bounce all over the place. They'll be running like a bat out of hell. They'll stop, literally turn around and come straight at you. They zigzag left and right all over the place. They are difficult fish to fight. Okay. Fact of the matter is, it just is a thing. So the taimen have actually been quite active. However, if you stick with the lighter lures, you probably won't get too many of them. I caught, last couple of days, I caught about 4 or 5, I'd say. I caught one 5 kilogram taimen. That was a pain in the butt to actually reel in. Also, make sure that you have the right tested rod. Okay. The fact of the matter is this is a 3.63 gram. I have to make sure that the test is over 3 grams on my rod, or the lure is over 3 grams of the test on my rod. What am I talking about? Let me rephrase. The lure needs to be over the minimum test amount so you can get a far cast. If you don't do that and you only get half a cast, it's not going to work very well, because I found that the fish for me are biting most of the time way the heck out there when I cast. There are some that cast close, okay, but for the most part they are really far out there. So let it cast, let it sit for a minute, lock your reel, let it sit for a minute more. If you want to tap the R button, see if you got a fish on, that's fine. Then just go ahead and start your reel session or whatever you want to do. Sometimes you can do 3 rotations and let it drop. Don, or aka Dion, was doing 5 rotations, 3, 4, 5 rotations and letting it stop, and that was working, and we were finding that the fish were actually hitting the lure as it was dropping. Okay, now I know you guys are just super excited about the lures that we're actually going to talk about. I am going to talk about a very special one. I'm going to talk about it last, because I don't think the beginners should be using it. But for you higher level players who are coming out here just to have fun, you might want to consider it. Okay, so let's go ahead and reel this bad boy in while we catch a fish. By the way, mostly graylings. Like I said before, you're going to get mostly graylings. You will get chubs here. I've hardly had any asps. I've had a couple of taimens, and you're going to get mostly graylings. However, I will give you a lure that will get a lot more brown trout. There's your proof right there, and some really nice ones too. Okay, these are actually small from what I've been getting recently. I've been getting like 1 kilogram, 1.5 kilograms. So I need to go over here to the tackle shop so we can go ahead and show you what is back in style. And just keep in mind, guys, we just came off an update, so it may take a week for all of these fish to settle in. So there's a very good possibility that just because I'm telling you this, that they may drop. Like, all of these lures may drop off. So starting off with, ladies and gentlemen, the spikers are back. Yes, they are back. Don, aka Dion, has been having great luck with the Spiker 2008. I did as well. It was really nice for me during the nighttime, during daytime as well. I also caught fish on the Spiker 2018. Did great during the daytime. Don, aka Dion, was catching fish during the day and the nighttime on the Spiker 2015. He said this was probably the most consistent for him. I thought, you know what? I got this one right here. It's fairly close to the 15. I used the 16. I found the same thing. It was fairly consistent during the day. To be honest with you, at night, Belaya has become very dead. Very dead. There is only one lure that I have used that has been actually working for me at nighttime. I've caught a couple here and there, not on that one. A couple here and there on the Spiker black one, which I cannot find right now. I do not know why. There it is right there. The Spiker 2016, I've caught a few on this. Okay. But it's been this one that I've been catching at night. Okay. The Dragonfly Bells 2004s. Now, keep in mind, I like the Dragonfly Bells, the Dragonfly Bell 2, 005, 006, and 007. They are only 5 silver lure. That's it. They are only 2-star lures, but it's not because they're not garbage lures, even though they are only 2-star lures. They are fantastically attracting lures. The part that sucks on them is their hook. You need to switch out their hook. So buy it for 5 silver, pay the 17 silver, get your magnetic trebles, okay? Get your magnetic trebles. You don't have to get the fluff ones. You can get the regular ones, but get your, Magnaras. I use large size 1, and these have been very, very active here. So the Dragonfly 7, 6, and 5. I had the best luck on the 7, okay? And tried the Dragonfly Bell. These are only 5 silver each. The actual hooks are more expensive, okay? Also, when it comes down to it, if you guys were lucky enough to catch the Christmas update, I have been catching fish on this blue one, the snowflakes, and I have been catching a lot of fish on this one. I don't know if it's red or orange. It looks orange at one point and it looks red on the other. For me, I'm colorblind. So these two, this one is doing pretty well. It's doing good. This one is doing great. I've had great luck with this. You just got to remember the mass of these are 2 grams. Okay. So a setup like this is not going to work because it's too high of a test. So for that, I've had to switch over to my slightly lighter setup, which is the test of 2 to 10. Make sure that my my snowflakes are higher at 2 grams, and that has worked for me very well. That way I can make sure that I get a long cast out there, and I can get, because if you do a short cast, you're not going to catch any fish. A half cast is not going to catch fish. You got to get these out there. So your best bet when it comes down to the snowflakes is a test between 2 to 10. That way you can get these way out there. And that has worked for me, switching over to that. However, this is the setup that the new setup that I've started using, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I try to stick with the tests that are between 3 and 15. The Zeman Hornet 1001. This was what we were using last time before the update. It is still working. It's about as good as this blue one right here, if that's blue. Maybe a little bit less than the Snowflake, but it is still working. So if you have one, you can go ahead and use that. It is excellent. Like I said, Spiker 2018, Spiker 2008s are working great. The Aquilas have not been working very well at all, unfortunately. You might be able to get, like, I believe there's a Hornet that's in this color. That's a Hornet 1. Is that the 1009? I think this one's actually at Hornet 1009. If this one is, I haven't tried it yet, but if this one is working on the snowflakes, this should work here too. Okay, so, but just make sure it's the Hornet 1s if you decide to go for it. I haven't tried the Hornet 1.3 and the Hornet 1007 yet. Keelas, like I said, aren't working great. I think that's pretty much it. I've tried the Dragonfly 1s. I haven't had that great of luck on them as of yet. But that is pretty much it. So these 2 snowflakes are working. This one's working. The 2015 is working. The 2008 is working in the Spikers. The Hornet 1001 is working. And then the Dragonfly Bells I got to make sure that I show you guys the right one. I've got 2 sets of Dragonfly Bells. I got the Dragonfly Bell 6s. These are way too big. Do not use these. I've got the Dragonfly Bell 2, 007, 006, 005, 004. All of these are working, but I found the best on the 007 during the day, and at night the 004 has been the best for me. Okay, now there is one more that I want to show you. If you are a beginner, this is your warning. If you have a super light rod, you might be able to pull in a taimen that this one is going to attract. These lures that I'm about to give to you are taimen attracting lures. It's that simple. Now, if you guys don't know up until this point, I absolutely love pike fishing. However, one of my most favorite lures is called a popper. This is a topwater lure that I love to pike fish for. I use the original Poppers 11s, okay? I did not know until a buddy of mine on the game by the name of Cole S. He told me that the Popper 4s work out here at Belaya. I did not believe him. But then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. Browns and graylings are predator fish, so why wouldn't it work? So I went and bought the 007, 4006, 004, 003. The 004 isn't working the greatest. It does catch a few fish here and there. The 006 is pretty much this. These two are the same. This one's working okay. It's working decent. The 003 is working decent. The hot one right now is the 400 or the 4001. The 4F001 original popper. These are top water lures. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a beginner, just be warned. There's a very good chance that you're going to attract a taimen or more taimen than you have ever actually seen. I've never seen taimen this active before on Belaya River. So what you're going to do with this one is you're going to toss it out there. You're going to change your retrieval speed to 20 and you're going to do a straight retrieval. If you have never used a topwater lure before, you can do a walking the dog motion, which is basically jerk, and we've got a fish on. Give me 1 second. By the way, this one is pulling in larger browns and larger graylings than the spinners that I've just showed you. Just saying, it may be a little tiny itty bit slower, but it's pulling in bigger fish overall. So there is a walking the dog motion that for the life of me, I cannot get to work on Belaya River. I do not know why. I don't know if it's because of the speed of the river or what it is, but usually you just pop it, reel in the slack, pop it, reel in the slack, and you'll get a walking dog technique. I cannot get that on Belaya River for some reason. I do not know why. I don't know. Maybe I have to send it downstream or something, but you don't need it. That's the good thing, is you don't need it. Put your retrieval speed to 20 and just do a nice straight retrieval. All day long you will catch fish. Okay. Make sure you get the popper way out there. Like I said, the 00, what was the one I was using? The F001 has been working absolutely great and has been catching the bigger overall fish. These browns, the 604-9, these bigger ones up here, these were caught on the popper, I believe. Where is it? Yeah, original popper, see? So this one is working fantastic. Watch the rocks. You can run into the rocks. You can get fish that are actually, you know, trapped behind it and whatnot. But this is this one is just amazing. But like I said yesterday, I wish I had done this recording yesterday because you guys could have seen the actual taimen that I got. You don't need to do the walking the dog thing. Just go ahead and cast out. Just take it nice and easy. Retrieval speed of 20. Be patient. Reel it in if you're, you know, higher level, and you'll start pulling in graylings that are actually fairly large. When it comes down to the actual spot that I'm casting, I usually stand a little bit more to the right of this rock right here. That way I have more room as it floats down the river, and I cast at this fat rock down here, and that's usually the one that I find that works the best. I'll sometimes tap the R button just to make sure, because if you guys didn't know, the topwater lures, as soon as they hit the water, they automatically get an attractant aspect. The devs added into the game that as soon as the topwater lures hit the water, it does like a 2-meter radius or a 5-meter diameter as soon as it hits the water, and it attracts fish. So this is a great thing for Belaya River because you can actually bring the fish into you just by fishing with the topwater lures. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, don't hit it. Just make sure no matter what you do, subscribe. Thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out. I appreciate it. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Keep gaming, keep doing midnight. Have a blast. We'll see you guys next episode. Take care. Have a good one, and bye-bye.